had record, both in Babylon, in Judah, in Israel, in that generation, and this generation. And I pray that what God did for him, in him, through him, the Lord's hand will be upon you. He'll do something fresh, something new in you, for you, and through you. We're looking at the distinguished revivalist among God's people in diaspora. He was not in his nation, and he didn't travel to Babylon voluntarily. He was taken among the captives and was in Babylon. Here is a special, peculiar personality. He didn't go by the maxim of the world. When you are in Rome, what the Romans do. When you are in Babylon, do as the Babylonians do. No. Anywhere he was, Babylon, the world, anywhere he did as a real child of God, covenant child of God, ought to do. He distinguished himself. He was a revivalist. He was God's person for the age, for the time, for that. Far away in Babylon, he stood for God and stood for everything God stood for. Let's look at Daniel chapter 6, reading from verse 2. And over these three presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage, that the kingdom should have no damage. If you will matter at all in the presence of God, you must understand that you are there in your nation, in the church, the kingdom, and the kingdom should have no damage. Look at verse 3. In verse 3, then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and the princes, because an excellent spirit was in him. It's not what you wear on the body, the spirit you have in you. It's not the external paraphernalia, external surrounding. It's what you have in you. It's not the heavy knowledge you carry in the head. It is what is in your spirit, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Look at verse 4. In verse 4, then the presidents and the princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him that the man we're looking at, so that the grace of God will flow into our lives and will be as much it can be like Christ, and like another man in flesh and blood, like you and I, like Daniel. We're looking at 3 points in the message. Number 1, the sanctified man living only for God's glory. Number 2, the spirit-filled minister leading only by God's guidance. Number 3, the Spirit God. Not the glory of man, not the glory of self, but only the glory of God. Put all the commandments together. Analyze all the commandments. Interpret all the commandments. Summarize all the commandments. They all boil down to living only for God's glory. Our responsibility to God, what's the outcome? Living only for God's glory. Responsibility to man, obeying the commandments of God that relates horizontally between you and I, between me and him. All that interprets to living only for God's glory. Ministry. What I do, what you do, how you minister, why you minister, serving, ministering only for God's glory. What you do, what you leave undone, I won't do that. Why? Only for God's glory. If I do that, God's glory, as far as it relates to me, might be diminished. So I can't do that. If I refuse to do this, and I shirk my duty, and I omit what I ought to do, God's glory will not be visibly seen. Because of that, I have to do it. In all things, I go this way, I come this way, I get up that way, I accept this, everything to be done only for God's glory. It's a small thing after all, yes, but little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. That little thing I have to do. Why? Only for God's glory. I want to say this, but I have to consider, think before I speak. No, that thing, if I say that, it's a little word, X word. If I say it, people will not see the glory of God they ought to see. So I can't say that, because whether I eat or drink or any other thing you do all, small and great, all visible and private, all you do all to the glory of God. The sanctified man only for God's glory. Look at three things here. Number one, the inflexible purpose of heart against defilement for God's glory. Number two, the incorruptible purity and holiness in devotion for God's glory. Number three, the incomparable protection from heaven without disappointment, because God has to protect this glory, the life of that man. Look at number one, the inflexible purpose of heart against defilement. It's in Daniel chapter 1 verse 8. But Daniel purposed in his heart to get to Babylon, set the standard. Before you meet with any person, make up your mind, prepare. Before you go out, before you reach that place, before the influences of the world will be crowding in on you, have a purpose of heart. For Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor waste the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. There were many Jews in Diaspora. Many were taken captive from Judah, Jerusalem. Many of them, some high, some moderate, some low, some princely from the king's place in Judah. But this man said, whatever others do, however others dress, whatever others eat, whatever new relationships others build up, he had a distinguished life, distinct, standing firm, standing alone. He purposed in his that he would not defile himself with the portion of Babylonians' kind of meat, or with the wine which he drank. He wasn't thinking of, I do everything moderately, drink moderately, eat Babylonian food, moderate myself to the policy of the king. Moderately, no, no, no. He said he will not. You couldn't shake him out of it. It was the purpose of heart. It's not what we hear, it's what we take in, it's what we pray on, it's what we decide on. Purpose of heart. He requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he wasn't seeking advice, counseling from the prince of the eunuch. We came from Judah. Here we are in Babylon. You are a prince here, the eunuchs. And you know Nebuchadnezzar. I'm thinking of taking a stand on something. And you counsel me? No. Advise me? No. He made up his mind. He knew what to do. Heaven had already decided that is what he does. You're born again, your purpose of heart. You're saved, you're sanctified, you have purpose of heart. You're a minister, you have been called into the ministry and you have answered the call. You have a purpose of heart. That this generation of Babylonians will not determine your life, will not determine your character, will not determine your lifestyle. Job chapter 17 verse 9. The righteous also shall hold on his way. Do you have any way, any path, any goal, any standard, any conviction? What are you going to hold on to? If there is no decision that determines destiny, what are you going to hold on to? The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. Stronger and stronger. Stronger and stronger. As we come into the street, we're appointed to be a minister, to be a preacher, to be a pastor, to be a shepherd, to be a teacher most of the time. For most people, the first year, because the call was new, the ministry, the opportunity, privilege was new. We run, we preach, we do everything we're called to do. You see passion, you see perseverance. After 1 year, 2 years,